for the recording. I'm just waiting for people to come on. Got a little bit of time. About 30 seconds, give or take. About 30 seconds a minute. All right, well, I'm going to get started. Today's Periscope, we're going to be talking about, well, first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Tim Herron. My email is timherron69@gmail.com. I have a blog called Wallach's Word, WALLACHSWORD.com. What's going on? It shows that you're not on, which is weird. I don't know, is that typical? Are you like hiding or something? Anyway, so my blog is called Wallach's Word, WALLACHSWORD.com. My email, like I said, is Tim Herron, HARRON, the number 69@gmail.com. My YouTube channel, Tim Herron Longevity, YOUNGEVITY. That's my YouTube. Go on there, comment, like, share, join, all that kind of good stuff. So a little bit of recap, as I always do. We defined an entrepreneur, the mindset, the day in the life of an entrepreneur, the strengths, weaknesses, the mind conditioning, sacrifices, what and why, what kind of company to keep, who do you keep in your company, and who are you cutting out and why, okay? Do you dress for success? And then the last one we went over, the one before, previous, was building your brand. And nothing's better than building yourself as the brand, but don't forget about everything else in that. So, okay, great. So we went into all those. What I'm going to talk about today is very important for any entrepreneur, okay? It's adaptation and expectations. Two very, very important things for any entrepreneur that wants to be successful in their vision, okay? Adaptation and expectations. They can be great assets or they can be vision killers. Okay, and I'm going to get into adaptations. Everything in life is a constant, it's a moving part. Everything is a moving part. So we have moving parts to everything, okay? So as entrepreneurs, we have to adapt, whether it's the environment, okay? Whether it's the marketplace, the pricing, the laws, competition, all these things come into play, and we have to adapt as we go, all right? Very, very important to be able to have the capability and the ability to adapt to what's coming. But even more important to that is to be aware that they're coming, right? Be aware of these things. And this all comes down to that mindset. If you don't have that whole proper mind condition and whole proper mindset, you're not going to be aware of any of these things. And that's the vision killer, okay? Your mind has to be moving 1, 2, 3, 10 steps ahead. You have to be thinking into the future in order to be able to adapt, okay? You expect the worst while planning for the best, okay? Say that again. Plan for the worst while expecting the best. Okay? And it's not, it's not like a doom and gloom and it's not negative, but you have to plan for that in order to be able to overcome it. So many things in life, so many things in your vision are going to come about, and how you deal with them, how you adapt to them is going to determine how successful you are in your vision in your life. You can't sit there and say, oh man, this happened to me and I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, what you're going to do is you're going to continue with your vision, right? Nothing should ever shake you, greatly shake you, or greatly surprise you in your vision, because you're prepared, as I spoke about before, and you're able to adapt and overcome those obstacles, those hurdles, those new laws that come up, right? Those new, this new competition, this new brand, this new way. Hey, they're kind of doing it kind of like me, but so I have to tweak mine a little bit so that I can get in there and best that competition. Okay, the environment might change. Who knows? A political landscape, whatever it might be, what's going on with your vision and whatever you're doing to be an entrepreneur. Okay, so expect the worst while planning for the best. A lot of people and entrepreneurs have troubles in their vision because of their expectations. Expectations can kill a vision if they're way too high. Okay? If they're way too high. So you have to learn how to lower your expectations of people, of all these different things, so that you're not doing that whole roller coaster in your vision. Oh my God, this is a great way. Oh, this happened. And then you're down. And now you can't concentrate on what's going on. You can't learn how to think forward, right? Okay, I planned for that, and now I know what to do with it. It's very important. So lowering your expectations, okay? Well, and here's a couple of great things in there when you're thinking about your expectations. Like, oh, well, I thought this. Okay, great. But the other person was thinking something completely different, right? Once you start lowering your expectations, the roller coaster won't be so much of a roller coaster. You're going to have a steady here. You might have some ups and you're going to have ups and downs. Not maybe you're going to have some ups and downs, but they're not where you're going to crash and you're going to burn and your vision fizzles out. Okay, so lowering your expectations. Those are, like I said, they can be adaptations and expectations are great assets to have, but also can be vision killers. Well, hey, I wasn't expecting that, or I wasn't prepared for that, or I didn't see that coming. You weren't prepared. You didn't have the ability to adapt to what's going on in your vision and in your life. And that's so very important to be able to do that, okay? And what a lot of people will find, or people who are going through their vision, right? Do you quit or do you adapt? Okay? There's two ways you're going to go about it. You're either going to, you go through your vision and you're, I'm doing this, I'm this entrepreneur, and this comes up, right? Oh man, do I throw my hands up and walk away? Or do I say, okay, I was expecting that. I was hoping it didn't come, but I planned for that. Now how do I overcome that? instead of saying, well, I'm going to go do something else. A perfect example, like I said, another shameless plug on my BTT, Beyond Tangerine 2.0, longevity. Another thing that I see with a lot of people with the multi-level marketing business. Okay, here's a perfect example. Okay, you're in the business, right? And something happens, oh, I'm going to give up. Okay, so many people, I have a lot of people that want to come and join my organization. But I tell them, so, okay, have you ever done this type of thing before? Yeah, I've been in this one and this one and this one and this one and this one. Okay, well, what's the common theme? It's not that the company was bad or the companies were bad. They're doing billions of dollars in sales or hundreds of millions and billions of dollars in sales. So is it the company or is it you? You quit or you're in the wrong vision. You didn't know how to adapt. All this came up and man, this person didn't get back to me and I can't do this. Well, you have to figure out a different way of doing it, or the other way is to go get yourself one of them, W-2s. You can either do the 1099 or the W-2. And after so many times, I say, I can't do the 1099, I can't do this, I can't do that. Go get yourself a job. Maybe the entrepreneur isn't for you. Okay? Because you should never quit your vision. You should always be able to adapt and overcome because your vision is so strong. You should always be expecting the unexpected. Not having your expectations up so high. Well, I was expecting to make, $100 million. Okay, well, that expectation is just not realistic. Not now. It might be later on, but it's not now. I had a great talk as I'm coming up on a book that I wrote, and I was speaking with my publishers, and and he was saying the same thing about expectations. So this kind of came up as expectations, and he's this first time author, and the book wasn't much of anything. He said, "Oh yeah, when this book pops, and I'll fly you down, and we're gonna get champagne, and we're gonna do all these different things." And his expectations were so high for a first time author that even the publishers are like, "Oh, okay, that's a lot." The top authors don't get that. So maybe lower your expectations to, okay, let's see how this goes. Let's do this. You're planning for everything else. You're planning to be that New York Times bestselling author. You're planning on being that, that guy that's got that private jet and all that kind of good stuff. But to have that out the gate like that is not realistic. Your expectations are way out there. And then when they don't happen and when they don't come about, your vision gets killed. You might not write another book. You might not, you might get so disheartened by the whole thing because your expectations that you put on yourself were so high and unattainable, at least in the beginning, that you said, wow, this isn't for me. And so it's the same in whatever business you go in, whether it's the multi-level marketing or whatever it is. Say, well, I was expecting to get 5,000 people in my downline in the first year. Okay, but is that realistic? If you lowered expectations, say, look, I'll get one, right? I'm going to get one big go-getter, bang, and he or she's going to go and they're going to run the business. Fantastic, right? I have this book coming out, and you know what I want to do? I want to get to my first book signing. Small steps, things that are obtainable. Look, you know what? I just want my first book to be sold. Instead of saying, okay, but I didn't sell 100 million in my first day. Right? Lower the expectations, keep them like this. Okay, your expectation is, look, I hope somebody reads it. Great. I sold 10, I sold 20, I sold 50. Now your achievements far outweighed your expectations. Now you can up those a little bit. Hey, you know what? What about this? What can I do here? So adaptation and expectation. So adaptation, very, very important to be able to adapt to your environment. Adapt to all the moving parts that are going to happen with your vision, with your entrepreneurship. Okay? Very, very, very important to be able to adapt. If you can't adapt, odds are you're going to give up. And then you should probably go work a job. Because you were in the wrong vision. Right? If you quit, you were in the wrong vision. And you got to go back and look at everything else and say, why was I in the wrong vision? Why was I in the wrong thing? Was it, was it me? Was it my mindset? Was it my expectations? Was it, what is it? Was I not expecting this, or was I expecting too much? Or, where are my weaknesses? Right? So all these things are going to come into play. When I went through all those, the past 7 Periscopes and then the following webisodes, I went to everything in there. That's all to build up to this point where you are, right? So that you don't quit. So that you realize that you're in the right vision, right? So that you don't waste time, not others people's time, and more importantly, your time, because we're only given but a little bit of time. A little bit of time. We don't know how much we have. And you don't want to waste that being in the wrong thing. Man, you look back and that's when you start playing the woulda, shoulda, coulda game. My, what if I did that, or I should have done that, or I could have done that, and now all you're doing is living in the past instead of having your mind going forward. Okay? You do not want to wake up and play the woulda, shoulda, coulda game. So prepare yourself with all the steps that I'm giving you. We only have a few more left. Okay? And this is a really crucial part here so that you don't quit. So all the steps, realizing where you are in your vision so that you're not quitting, so that you're able to make this vision and your passion come true. Okay? Realize where you are. Okay? And that's why I said in the beginning on the first Periscope and the first webisode, I defined the entrepreneur. Because you have to realize, are you or aren't you? If you're not, great. Go get that regular job. Go to get that 9 to 5. Jump on the train and the subway and get to it. Don't waste your time or anybody else's. Go do that. So, what mindset are you? If you don't have the proper mindset and you say, I just can't do this. I'm not that creative and I don't want to. Okay, go do that. Because you certainly don't want to waste anybody else's time. If you're not sure of what's going on. And you're not able to control your mind, and you're not able to do the things that you think or say that you want to do, okay? Show and prove, old New York adage, right? Show it and then prove it over time, time and time again, okay? So the 2 things we spoke about, adaptation, learning to overcome, you have to be prepared for those things. I talked about preparation before. So you see, every single thing that I spoke about in these steps so far is coming to where we are here. And you can always go back to preparation, to mindset, strengths, and weaknesses. And am I an entrepreneur? I know what an entrepreneur is, but so am I? Great. Because you don't want to get to this point and say, okay, I'm going to quit. Let me go do something else. Okay, so how much time have you wasted of yours and other people's? Okay, so that's very important. Adaptation and then expectations. Lowering your expectations, okay? Of yourself, of others, be realistic in your expectations. That is very important. You're going to hear it time and time again from yourself and from, well, I didn't expect that. And, well, I was expecting this. Okay? And that's the roller coaster. You can't have too much of that. It has to be very small, right? Your roller coaster has to be very small. Otherwise, emotionally, it's so hard to keep bouncing back all the time because of your lack of expectations. They're either too high or whatever. Usually too high, And that'll, if your expectations also are way too high, it's going to catch you off guard. Oh, I didn't think that. I didn't think that could happen. Well, maybe thinking isn't your bag of tricks. You know what I mean? So, you have to think about that. You have to think about all the different scenarios and outcomes so you're prepared, right, for any outcome so you can complete your vision and so that other people can understand it and get involved with you and want to get involved with you. Very important. Okay, so great. Go to my email, send me an email of, your expectations, okay? What have you had to adapt to and overcome? And Are you having realistic expectations of yourself, of your vision, of the people around you, okay? In order to keep you not so much of this, okay? Like this, okay? So tell me about your expectations. I want to hear some examples about your expectations of how they flew out of the water and it kind of sidetracked you a little bit from your vision. I want to hear those examples, because once you are able to speak on that, then you know where they are. Then you know where you can change. So tell me about your expectations where you said, man, I was expecting this, and that didn't happen. You have to be able to learn from that. So I want your expectations. I want the bad ones. I want the bad ones where it sidetracked you. That's what I want to hear. Because once you are able to even understand the bad ones and where they are, then you can change it. Then you can modify it for the next time where you're not so way out there. And you're going to really get to your vision faster. So send me your adaptations. What did you have to adapt to? What did you have to change? What did you have to do those different things in your vision so far? What were some of those obstacles that came up? Was it laws? Was it competition? Was it something personal, expectation? All those different things. I just want to hear your take on the adaptation to the expectations. So send those into timharron69@gmail.com. Go onto my YouTube channel, like it, share it, comment, join, all that kind of great stuff. Also check out wallachsword.com. That's a blog that I have for my shameless longevity plug again. And if, hey, who knows, if we're in the same vision, I would love to join up with you and see what we can do, create some business, and let's go make some money. So enjoy your day. Thank you very much for coming in. I'll see you guys all on the replay, and I'll be posting this up soon. Enjoy your day and be prosperous.